The Oscars released a list of eligible documentaries, and listening to Kenny G didn't make the list. Ah! I predicted this, what, 2 days ago? Go fuck yourselves, Academy. So do they include all the eligible films? Okay, here we go. American Motion Picture Academy, Arts and Sciences, or whatever the fuck. AMPA's announces animated documentary and international features eligible for Oscars. So the features eligible, the animated ones eligible. So these aren't the nominations. These are eligible. This is like the short list, basically. Full list of eligible films for animated features: The Addams Family 2, The Ape Star, Back to the Outback, Belle, Bob Spit. We do not like people. What the fuck is that? Bob Spit. We do not like people. That's a mouthful. I'm just gonna search that up out of curiosity. 41 ratings on IMDb. How did they know that this movie exists? I'm just gonna watch list this because I'm confused now. The Boss Baby Family Business. Crypto Zoo, which was really great. I hope it gets a nomination. I don't know if it will, though. I don't know if the Oscars would enjoy that movie at all. Encanto, the new Disney film. Flea, which is so incredibly critically acclaimed that I think that it might get a nomination. But it might also fit into the documentary category because it's kind of like an animated documentary. Fortune Favors Lady Nikuko, which I missed. I didn't really feel like watching. Josie the Tiger and the Fish. The Laws of the Universe, The Age of Elohim. Luca, that'll get nominated. The Mitchells versus the Machines, that'll get nominated. And also Encanto, if that wasn't clear enough. They'll probably just do those three and then forget that CryptoZoo exists, or Flea. My Sunny Mad, Paw Patrol the movie, Pompo the Cinephile.
As a cinephile, and sorry, wrong kind of file.
Poupelle of Chimneytown, Raya and the Last Dragon. Okay, now that I'm seeing it, Raya would get nominated sooner than CryptoZoo. Ron's Gone Wrong, Sing 2, The Spine of Night. I'm surprised. I guess if it's eligibility. The Spine of Night was interesting. That's not getting a nomination for sure. That's definitely not getting nominated. Spirit Untamed. That would be insulting if that got nominated, not CryptoZoo. The Summit of the Gods, Vivo and Wish Dragon. So that's the full animated eligible films. And then international films. It looks like, because each country submits one, right? Lingui the Sacred Bonds from Chad, I think, might get a nomination just because it was at TIFF and the Academy probably just won't watch it, and they'll be like, they'll hear that it's about abortion and they'll be like, okay, we get to look super cool nominating something from Chad and it's about abortion. I'm pretty sure. So maybe. Memoria, I guess that's a Colombian film. How close is Colombia to Thai? Isn't a Pitchapong Thai? But I guess Memoria is a Colombian film, I guess. I don't know. Clara Sola from Costa Rica. That wouldn't be the worst nomination. And then Flea is Denmark's submission for international feature. So that might get it. I didn't even realize that was considered a Danish film. So Flea might get more than one nomination in some ways. Compartment Number 6 from Finland. Rooting for it. Great movie. Titane from France. That would be an awesome nomination, but the Academy is not nearly cool enough. However, female director, so that might actually help it, because they need to nominate some female directors. So Titane, despite being too cool for the Academy, maybe might get a nomination, but I'm not confident about it. We'll see. Iran has the new Asghar Farhadi film submitted and eligible, which is called A Hero. I haven't seen it yet. I would love to see it. Drive My Car is probably going to get a nomination. I was so unimpressed by that. I understand a lot of people love it. Watch my TIFF review if you want to hear me talk about it. That'll probably get a nomination, I guess. Oh, Hive from Kosovo. That would be dope. That's a female director. That was actually a really good movie. And that would be that they might do so they can be like the first Kosovo film to be nominated for an Academy Award. Like that's a story. They could do that. So yeah, knowing Hive is here, I don't know if I like Julia Ducournau's chances with Titan here. There's a lot of countries. Norway, the worst person in the world. It's not only going to get nominated, but it's probably going to win. It's a really great movie, but it's also a movie that I imagine the Academy would like, and it's got white people in it. So yeah, a couple things that I didn't watch. Unclenching the Fists. Oh yeah, that was I confused that with another thing. I watched like half of that. It wasn't bad. I was so busy that I had to skip it at the festival, unfortunately. But it's still on my watch list. So, South Korea, not a great year for Korean movies because their pick is, or at least Korean Oscar bait movies. Their pick is Escape from Mogadishu, which was not good. Very fucking cringe and basic, and like, why is it just yeah, like worse than a blockbuster nonsense American thing, you know? Okay. There's probably some good stuff on here that I would have liked to see, but I'm not thinking of right now. I know that there were some other foreign language films that I liked a bit, but yeah, I mean, there's some good ones on here. I would love if Compartment Number 6 won. That'd be fucking awesome. That'd be a great win for Finland. Yeah, that's what I'm rooting for. I will not be upset at the worst person in the world winning, which I think is more likely. Okay, well, the documentaries list is somewhere else because Variety.com posted the same international feature link where they should have posted the documentary thing. So I'm going to have to look for it. Thanks a lot, Variety. Deadline.com? Here, let's see. Oh, this is the PDF? Oh, this has all of them. Wow, Deadline, way to go. I was having a lot of trouble finding this. Thank you. All right, international feature. I went through that. All right, we're going to go through documentary. I'm going to point out the ones that jump out to me. All right, Becoming Cousteau. I skipped that one. It was boring as fuck. And remember, these are just eligible documentaries. Bring Your Own Brigade. Bring Your Own Brigade. It was good, but kind of slow at the same time. Check out my Fantasia Festival 2021 review. Was that it? No, it was in my Sundance review. It was my Sundance 2021 review. Okay. So it would be in the thumbnail and title. Bring Your Own Brigade if you want to see me. Oh, I almost forgot. All Light Everywhere. That's at the top. Oh my god. Yeah. That's what I'm rooting for. I'm glad it's eligible. That was a great documentary. That's another Sundance review that I did. So yeah, totally watch All Light Everywhere. That's the best one out of the ones I see so far. A Cop Movie. That's the new film from the guy that directed Museo. Weird. I guess. Yeah, and there's no way Mexico would send that as their international feature submission. So yeah, I'm not surprised. I guess. But yeah, good movie. I plan on reviewing it soon. Hopefully, I'm a little backlogged on things.
Right.
Cusp. Good movie. Might get nominated. You never know. I don't think it would win though. That'd be weird. I'm not always right about how the Academy will vote. And a lot of the time I let what I want to win cloud my judgment. Flea. So Flea is eligible for 3 different categories right now. Animation, international, and documentary. I'd be surprised if it wasn't nominated for one of those things. I feel like that's probably getting a nomination, even though it wasn't for me. I didn't like the character design in the animation. I found it difficult to relate to. In the Same Breath. Ooh. That was a good one, but it's kind of critical of China. So I'm feeling like we might not have that nominated. It's pretty critical of China, so it might not happen. We'll see. If it gets nominated, then
Bing chilling.
I guess Bing Chilling. You're right. If it gets nominated, we're having ice cream. Julia, that's the Julia Childs documentary, or Julia Child. Is it Child or Childs? I think it's Child. The Julia Child documentary that I saw at TIFF. Good movie. I think that's an Oscar type movie, not documentary nomination if I've ever seen one. I'm imagining that will likely get a nomination. Not the best thing I've seen. It's a very safe movie. It's a very easy, accessible film. It's a very old person movie. I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it too. But I'm old. Misha and the Wolves. The fucking editing and soundtrack choices in that ruined it. Otherwise, it's all right. The Most Beautiful Boy in the World. I didn't watch that, but there was a trailer for it, and it was intriguing. What a funny title. Yeah, I was intrigued, but didn't rush to watch it. We'll see about that one. The Rescue. That's from the directors of Free Solo, which won Best Documentary. And it was all right. I mean, it was good. This might even just win again. Like, The Rescue might just win. I would say The Rescue is probably getting nominated. Although it didn't have the same, like blow up as, like, Free Solo. Like, I don't even know if that one's out yet, because I saw it at TIFF. I don't know if it's out in regular theaters or what's the deal with that. The Sparks Brothers, I mean, it could get nominated. It's Edgar Wright. And then a lot of them I don't recognize. And that's it for documentaries. And my favorite documentary of the year, and also favorite film of the year, listening to Kenny G, and favorite film of the year so far, is not on this list. So what I'm going to do right now is go to the Oscars and look at their rules and eligibility right now and see why the fuck it wouldn't be there. Because this might... Like, I wonder why it's not even eligible. It's
fun, son. All right.
It's not even eligible is what's happening here. It's not it's not getting nominated for sure, but it's not even eligible to be nominated, or like it's not on the short list of eligible. Like, they released a list of here's the films that are eligible. So all eligible pictures, unless otherwise noted, must be a feature length, defined as over 40 minutes, publicly exhibited by means of 35mm or 70mm film, or in a 24 or 48 frame progressive scan digital cinema format with a minimum projector. What the fuck? Blu-ray format does not meet digital cinema requirements. What are the digital cinema requirements? Images and found. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so, okay, so, I mean, this is weird. What a weird requirement. Wow. The audio in a digital cinema package, DDP, is typically 5.1 or 7.1 channels of discrete audio. So you can't have a 2-channel... I mean, not like you'd want a 2-channel audio track film to be nominated, but that's a weird rule. That's a weird rule for eligibility. Like, what the fuck? What's a movie anymore? You know? That's why they didn't nominate my Kimba documentary. Why isn't that eligible? It must be for paid admission in a commercial motion picture theater in Los Angeles County. What? Really? So is every eligible Netflix film one where they had like a one-day showing in LA or something? I don't know if these rules, because they've nominated Netflix films, right? My Octopus Teacher won documentary last year. There's weird rules like this for Cannes, too. For a theatrical qualifying run of at least 7 consecutive days in the same commercial motion picture theater, during which period screenings must occur at least 3 times daily, with at least 1 screening between 6 and 10 p.m. daily. What? Advertise and I'm reading this off of the fucking Oscars rules website. So it's saying that there are some exceptions for COVID, too? But, Netflix like Roma was nominated for best. Is that like? Is it just because it had like a theatrical run too or something? Like I don't know how this shit works. Like Marriage Story, like is that what Netflix does and just HBO Max didn't do that? Is it literally just as simple as like, oh, HBO Max films aren't ever nominated because they don't like is that what Netflix does? What a silly rule. Just it's a movie. It's a movie. Why would you what what why would you have those rules? Why would you make it so that great films are not eligible because of some arbitrary like format or screening process? Films that in any version receive their first public exhibition or distribution in any manner other than as a theatrical motion picture will release will not be eligible for Academy Awards in any category. Okay, that makes sense. But is weird still. So this is what they're saying is like you can't turn a TV show into a movie after the fact. It has to be a movie first. But then it's like, didn't they nominate Fanny and Alexander? Fanny and Alexander. It won 4 Oscars in 1982. So maybe this is a newer rule. I don't know. So the theatrical version of Fanny and Alexander won 4 Oscars. Did that premiere first? The theatrical version? I don't know. South Park movie. That's different. That's not. They didn't take episodes and turn it into a movie. They released a movie. So yeah, I guess that's probably why listening to Kenny G is not even eligible, which is really silly. The required Los Angeles County qualifying run described in Rule 2 must begin between March 1st, 2021 and December 31st, 2021. Wow, so if they did that in January or February, it's not even eligible. That's so weird. That's so bizarre. I don't understand. It's a year. Do the year. What the fuck? Is it like the Academy is like, we're too busy to see the things because we're doing the Oscars things from the last year? Just like they're all fucking. Do you have to watch in a theater? A lot of these you get sent screeners for that, right? You get screeners for these. A lot of these you watch as screener copies. Why do they even need to show up in a theater? I wonder if Coda will get nominated for anything. Maybe screenplay or something. Maybe one of the actors if they really love it. It is a sappy Oscar movie. Rule 7, special rules for the Animated Feature Film Award. An animated film is defined as a motion picture in which movement and characters' performances are created using a frame-by-frame technique and usually falls into one of 2 general fields of animation, narrative or abstract. Why do you need to specify? Animated films are generally either narrative or abstract. Why do you don't specify that for the other like genre? Like what is that? What's the point of even saying that? Like what do you mean? Can't they be a bit of both also? Like what the fuck are you talking? Why is that in your official rules? And then they list like animation types. Motion capture and real-time puppetry are not by themselves animation techniques. An animated short film has a running time of 40 minutes or less. An animated feature film has a running time of more than 40 minutes. Those are the same rules. Why is this in the... Okay. In an animated film, it's like those are the same rules as the non-animation ones is what I'm saying. In an animated film, animation must figure in no less than 75% of the picture's running time. Okay, that makes sense. In addition, a narrative animated film... Why are we specifying between narrative and abstract? Narrative animated film must have a significant number of the major characters animated. If the picture is created in a cinematic style that could be mistaken for live action, the filmmaker must also submit information supporting how and why the picture is sustainably a work of animation rather than live action. John! Yeah, it's a lot of these are just for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I guess. I don't know. That's a weird one. It's weird to have to specify like that. And then a lot of these are just like voting rules. Oh, special documentary feature rules. Here, let's see this. So maybe maybe the best picture one is what they were talking about with the theaters thing, or maybe they meant all categories. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Yeah, specific to documentary. To be eligible for a 94th Academy Awards consideration, a documentary feature must complete a theatrical release for 7 consecutive days in one of the 6 qualifying U.S. metro areas: Los Angeles County, City of New York, the Bay Area, Chicago, and Atlanta during the eligibility period. Or, there's an or there, or the film must have won a qualifying award at a competitive film festival as specified in the documentary feature qualifying festival list. Wow. So if it won an award at TIFF or something, then maybe it could have been eligible. Regardless of any prior public exhibition or distribution by non-theatrical means, the proof of the award must be submitted with the entry. The documentary feature qualifying festival list is available, blah, 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 blah. Or, there's another or. The film must have been submitted in the International Feature Film category as its country's official selection for the 94th Academy Awards. Interesting. So Flea doesn't need to follow those rules. And that might also explain why what was the documentary like a year or two ago that I really liked? Like last year, what was it called? It was like one word. It was like Romanian, started with a C or something. It was nominated for documentary and international. So I was gonna say that's collective. Thank you. It didn't win anything at Sundance or TIFF. Well, it wasn't at Sundance. It was at TIFF. And I don't think it won anything. Let's see. Yeah, it didn't win anything at TIFF. It wasn't nominated for anything at TIFF either. Weird. It was so funny and so thought-provoking. It was really great. It was an awesome movie. It's out now, by the way, if anybody wants to watch Listening to Kenny G. It's out now on HBO Max, a streaming service that needs to fix its fucking subtitles still. It also says only individual documentary works are eligible. This excludes from consideration. Yes. Thank you, Enma. This excludes from consideration multi-part or limited series, episodes extracted from a larger series, segments taken from a single composite program, and alternate versions of ineligible works. So this could also be because Listening to Kenny G is released on HBO Max as part of their like music documentaries thing, because like they had like 5 music documentaries or something were released as part of like a category or like a special or something. So that might also be why it's not eligible, or that might be. I forget what there's like 6 documentaries. They were like, I don't remember what they called it, but they were like music box. Yeah, so maybe that's why. Well, it says that the International Feature Film Award must meet all other eligibility requirements, but oh, here we are. In order for films to more easily meet theatrical exhibition requirements for international feature, the Academy will allow films to qualify outside the country of origin, provided the film is theatrically exhibited outside of the United States and its territories for at least 7 consecutive days in a commercial motion picture theater for paid admission. Yeah, this is what I thought. So you have a higher chance. You can skirt the documentary requirements for theatrical exhibition and all that shit if your documentary is also an international feature that gets nominated by your country. So that's actually kind of interesting and explains the double documentary and international feature nominees for some years, which might happen again this year with Flea. This is interesting. The submitting country must confirm that creative control of the film was largely in the hands of citizens or residents of the submitting country. That rule's totally been broken. Right? That rule's totally been broken. There's been tons of like, oh, this was like fucking Apichatpong's film is being submitted by Colombia, and is he Colombian? But I swear there's been like a bunch of these where it's like, oh, this is this country's official submission, even though citizens from outside that country basically directed it. You know? Yeah, like what the fuck? That rule's been totally been broken. But I guess the submitting country confirmed it. I don't like this rule. And here it says it literally this. I hate this fucking rule. Only one film will be accepted from each country as the official selection. Films can be submitted to the Academy as soon as they are selected. Go fuck yourself. Why can't, if there's 2 good Korean movies in a year and Korea want, like, let them submit 3. Let them submit 3. 1 each, 1 per country. The Academy, we can't be bothered to watch more than 1 movie from a non-American countries. Fuck off. That's so silly. I fucking hate that. That's absolute nonsense. I hate that shit. That's such a bullshit rule. Yeah, what a bullshit rule. Only one movie from your country that's not America. Only one from the place where they don't speak English. Go fuck yourself. That's such a why? Like, honestly, what justification do they have for that rule other than the Academy doesn't like watching foreign films? Literally, what other justification do they have for that rule? How else can you explain why that rule is there? They just don't like watching foreign films as much. So we can only do 1 per country, guys. Like, we don't even really watch them. Like, how could you honestly explain that? Without coming to that conclusion, I don't understand. Wow. Okay, never mind. Yeah, what? Okay, I'm looking at the music awards special rules. Okay, look at this. An original song consists of words and music. Both of which are original. I like how it says words and not lyrics. Words and music, both of which are original and written specifically for the motion picture. There must be clearly audible, intelligible, and substantive rendition, not necessarily visually presented, of both lyric and melody, used in the body of the motion picture or as the first music cue in the end credits. The end credits rule is so stupid because you can just throw any song, like, original song, if like, it should be for movies that, like, I don't know, are musicals or have a character performing a song within it, and maybe the whole thing isn't necessarily a musical. Like, the fact that you're giving away Oscars for best original song of just, oh, it's in the end credits movie. Like, fucking, what was that? That Ruth Bader Ginsburg documentary had a best original song nomination. It was like, what the fuck? Just some random shit at the end of the movie. What? Yeah, I'm looking through this right now. And then original musical. An original musical. What? There isn't a musical category, so why is this different? An original musical consists of not fewer than 5 original songs. Why is this specified when they're both just nominated for original song anyway? Original song and original musical aren't 2 different categories, so I don't understand why they're specified differently in this rule set. Why? Yeah, there is no original musical category. All right, so eligibility, this encompasses all the music. So this is looking at, yeah, this literally says categories: original score, original song, and original musical. It's literally just listed as a category here. Is that a category? That's not a category. Why are there... did they forget to, like, remove that from their official rules that they have on their website? Their official rules that they post? There's a the Academy is publicly posting that they have a category that doesn't actually exist on their website on page 22 of their rules. That's so weird. It's not newly added. I don't think so. What's going to be on it? What's going to... Was there a musical that came out this year that the Academy watched? Like, all right. Eligibility. The work must be the result of a creative interaction between the filmmakers and composers and or songwriters who have been engaged to work directly on the motion picture. A score must be created specifically for the eligible feature length motion picture and comprise a minimum of 35% of the total music in the film. If a score does not meet the minimum 35%, the composer may submit a letter to the branch executive committee stating reasons for the score to be accepted for consideration. All letters must be received by the due dates published by the Academy for the current awards cycle. 35% of the total music in the film. And then they just say you can submit a letter saying if you think that there's a good reason why it's not, then okay, we might just let you break the rule. The decision of the music branch executive committee shall be final is the rule, is another rule. Okay. That's really weird. Because okay, 35% of the total music in the film. Not 35% of the film, but the total music in the film. So if you have a film like Happy Feet, where they're singing a bunch of songs that are not eligible for score or best original song, John Powell's actual composition of the score, so like when they're, like 2/3 through the movie, they're like walking through the wind or whatever, there's like some string instruments. I thought John Powell's score was pretty good for that movie, but I guess it wouldn't be, the score itself wouldn't be over 35%. I wonder if that's that difficult to hit. Anyway, but yeah, that's a weird rule. In cases such as sequels and franchises from any media, the score must consist of more than 80% newly composed music, which does not contain any pre-existing themes borrowed from previous scores in the franchise. Didn't fucking one of the new Star Wars fucking things get nominated for music? I swear to God it did. That was just the Star Wars music again. Yeah, fucking Rise of the Skywalker got nominated for score. What the fuck? They totally used previous themes. I don't think 80% of his score. All right, I'm trying not to get copyright claimed here. I was curious about if they played any of the renditions in the "here's our nominees" thing, because that would have been really funny. In cases such as sequels and franchises from any media, the score must consist of more than 80% of newly composed music, which does not contain any pre-existing themes borrowed from previous scores in the franchise. Like maybe, I guess a lot of the music in the new Star Wars movies are just kind of filler music anyway. A lot of it is just like background while they're talking sort of thing. So who knows, that might actually be eligible just for that. The work must be recorded for use in the motion picture prior to any other usage, including public performance or exploitation through any media whatsoever. Okay. So if a composer has like a cool thing that they're composing for the film, if a composer posts a video of them being like, "Oh, I'm arranging some cool thing," and then later they decide to use it for a film, they're like, "Oh yeah, I would like to use this rendition in the film." Would that just make it ineligible? Is that considered a public performance of like posting a video of yourself? Like just diddling on the piano or something? A score shall not be eligible if it has been diluted by the use of pre-existing music, or it has been diminished in impact by the predominant use of songs or any music not composed specifically for the film by the submitting composer, or it has been assembled from the music of more than one composer. So this is why Black Swan's soundtrack wasn't nominated, which was a awesome score by Clint Mansell, because it incorporated music from the musical of Black Swan, even though it created something like new out of it. So it's like just automatic ineligibility. So what was Johnny Greenwood's thing about? I don't. Was Johnny Greenwood ineligible for There Will Be Blood because of something like that? I didn't know if There Will Be Blood was like based off of if he incorporated anything in that. No more than one statuette will normally be given in an original score category. A second statuette may be awarded when two credited composers function as equal collaborators, each contributing fully to the original dramatic underscore for the film. So Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, I guess. In cases where three or more credited composers function as equal collaborators, a single statuette may be awarded to the group. Each We're not printing out too many statues for you composers. There's only 2 maximum statues for you composers. How many Oscars? Is it like no more than 2 for every category? Is this a weird composers only thing? You know? Yeah, they're just being dumb. Yeah, same for original song category. In the case of an original musical, the composer or adapter of the instrumental score may qualify for an award if their contribution is deemed relevant and substantial. I don't understand what that means. Why does it matter if it's a musical? I don't understand why they're making these qualifications for musicals when it's not even a category. I don't understand. Whatever. Wow. You can't. You're ineligible for a short film Academy Award nomination if your short film is an unaired episode of an established TV series or an unsold TV series pilot. Weird. So if you make like a really good pilot for a show and nobody picks it up and you're like, why don't we submit it as a short film? You can't do that. Interesting. Student films cannot qualify with a theatrical release. Why? Why can't it be a student film? How do you define student film? Is it by student film you mean it can't be made by a student, by a film student? Or do you mean it can't be like what you submitted for a grade, I guess? What if it's that good? Why not? Fuck it. That's a silly rule. Like, why? I would like to hear a justification for some of these things. So even for the short films, the picture must have been publicly exhibited for paid admission in a commercial motion picture theater in one of the 6 qualifying U.S. metro areas, blah, blah, blah. So this is a bunch of the same rules of nonsense theatrical release requirements for the Oscars, even for short films. Or the film must have won a qualifying award at a competitive film festival as specified in the short film qualifying film festival list. Or the film must have won a gold, silver, or bronze medal award in the Academy's 2021 Student Academy Awards competition in the animation, narrative, alternative, or international categories. I didn't know that was a thing. That's kind of weird. But student films aren't allowed unless it's the Student Academy Awards competition. Okay, weird. For the Sound Award, the Sound Branch Executive Committee will request that producers provide opportunities to view their motion pictures via the Academy Screening Room, advanced theatrical screenings, or screeners. It's like, okay, you can just do a screener for the Sound Award. Preliminary voting shall produce a short list of 10 motion pictures. Sound branch members shall vote in order of their preference for not more than 10 pictures to be considered for the Sound Award. When a motion picture is shortlisted, the sound team responsible for the motion picture selected for the award's consideration shall be required to provide a DCP of 1 continuous clip from their film's release master highlighting the sound achievements. This clip will be screened by the sound branch at a nominating screening prior to nominations voting. Clip must be from the final release and must not exceed 8 minutes in total running time per title. Each clip must be exactly as it appears in the final release. So yeah, it seems like there's a bit more like stringent of a process for like nominating in some of these than the actual voting for the winners. Yeah, this clip will be screened by the sound branch at a nominating screening. Like that's at least putting all of them together using like the same audio equipment and presumably in like a theater, right? Which is probably a lot more than the Academy voters do in terms of just watching a screener at home. Probably with no good speakers. Probably with some just bullshit TV speakers or something. So yeah, for visual effects, they're required to show like a before and after reel, which is interesting. All right, that's the end of it. Yeah, some stupid rules. And I guess maybe listening to Kenny G got caught in one of those rules. Weird. Good movie though. Sad.
Hey guys, it's December 2021, so let's update the Patreon credits. My top patrons are Wholesome 100 Big Chunkus Lemonade Warrior, Big Well from Robust the Animated Movie, Charisma S, The Super One Player, Dwyer Tarantino, Jacob Arndt, Zachary Kane, Sam Joel, Cheat.exe, Gothic Sith, Mandel Bro, Kel Hunt, Wales, Bo the Doggo, Kai Butcher, Splat, Hoofy Doe, Ocean Machinery, and Malav Shah. Hope you enjoyed the video and happy holidays.